I'm all alone today, Alphas. Well, I'm not really all alone. Mr. Moore is right upstairs right now. Um, so basically, guys, if you're joining us for the first time, I apologize for the ad that is popping up on the screen right now. I can see it, even though there's a lag. We did get monetized, which is super exciting for us because that means that we're able to earn money for ads that actually play on our channel now. And that means that we can create more videos, more content. We can buy software to create better videos. So even though ads are super duper annoying, guys, you can expect to see some more content from us because of them. So if you want to be super duper awesome, don't click the skip ad video unless you're in a hurry, and then go right on ahead. But guys, so what's going on with us? And for those who are new, we hang out for the first 10 minutes before we begin. So if you're watching the replay, feel free to skip forward a little bit if you're not interested in hearing me talk. But basically, what is going on right now is we're in the middle of what is basically a minor house remodel. We're just replacing things in the house that need replaced. The main thing was our bed. You guys know that Mr. Moore has a lot of back problems after being in the military. So we got a new mattress this week. Super duper great mattress. Love it. It's called the Idle Sleep mattress. We got the hybrid, which is half normal mattress and half memory foam. Love it. We also got a bed frame, which is where the problem is. It was delivered yesterday by Ashley Furniture and they installed it wrong. So we have not been able to sleep on our bed. Back here, you can see these cushions. That is our pull-out couch-like mattress thing. And he can't sleep on that because of his bad back. He ended up tossing and turning all night, and he just ended up getting up and giving up on sleeping. So he was up all night. That's why he's not here. And tomorrow we leave for vacation. So we have to try to figure out how the heck we're going to sleep tonight. If we're going to try to sleep on the couch, if we're going to try to do the pull-out bed, I don't know. But he's upstairs right now. So you guys are stuck hanging out with me. A few other things that I want to go over with you this morning or tonight. I always say this morning because we normally do our Q&As early. Hello, everybody. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Mary. Hello, Sharon. All right, guys. So a few things that I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, I got some new books that I'm going to be reading. I'll be sure to let you know how I like them. I know for sure one of them I'm going to love. But as you guys know, I always recommend psychology books above business books because, as we all know, most business books are written by rich guys who just want to get richer by writing books and talking about how they got famous. But what I recommend, as always, psychology books. It's a lot easier to understand how the customer's mind works when you actually know the psychology behind, how the brain works. So my very favorite psychology book is Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely. I talk about it all the time, but I picked up another book by Dan Ariely called The Honest Truth About Dishonesty. So I'm super duper excited about this one. I'll let you guys know how it is. I'll be sure to post in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community after I read it and have a chance to vouch for it. But Dan Ariely is an amazing author. So if it's not one that you're familiar with, be sure to start with Predictably Irrational. I absolutely love it. I read The Cheese and I loved it. Yes, Who Moved My Cheese is another one of my all-time favorites. Super thin. I recommend it. Renee Christine recommends it. Only takes about an hour to read, but it is a life-changing book. So if you just want something real quick that you can grab, toss to the side, pick it up, read it again, grab Who Moved My Cheese. Really, really good book. Hello, everybody. I hate Ashley Furniture. Yeah, they installed our bed wrong and then were very rude to us. So very frustrated. The other books that I'm reading, I picked up Blink. I know that this is another psychology book. I don't know a whole lot about it yet. I haven't even dove into it, but it is a national bestseller. So figured that it would probably be a good one to add to my collection. And I'm also reading Rebuilding the Brand. This is a really good reference book for it's Harley Davidson and how they built their brand, but the same with Pour Your Heart Into It, which is how Starbucks basically rose to fame and how Howard Schultz built Starbucks into such a big company. It's a similar book. It's just a lot smaller. So I'll let you know how this one is too. But anyway, guys, as soon as I'm done with those, we are going we're going on vacation tomorrow, and it'll be about a 6-hour drive. So I'm going to take those with me. Mark is reading some books on black holes and planets and super duper cool spacey stuff. As you guys know, or may not know, he's now a member of the Planetary Society by Bill Nye, or who I think Bill Nye's the CEO. He didn't found it, but he's the CEO right now. So if you guys are into space exploration, Mark should also have some pretty cool books to recommend later on. But we've got about 5 minutes until we start, guys. I do want to let you guys also know that I'll have a video posting either this weekend or Monday about the new Etsy features. Etsy Plus will be available to everybody as of the 16th. So if it's not available to you yet, just keep an eye out for it. Mine became available today. A few people had it available yesterday, but I think the 16th is the date that everyone can expect it to be available. And I did record myself purchasing the plan and exploring the plan, and I will be uploading that video. I think I'm going to schedule it for while we're on vacation, so you guys should get a notification when that video posts. But if you're kind of wondering about it, if you're worried, that video just walks you through the process. And then if you want additional tutorials on how to use the tools, there's new banner features. There's a new like carousel banner that I would like to teach you guys how to fully optimize. If that's something you're interested in, when that video posts, just let me know in the comments there what particularly you'd like to know more about. And I can create smaller tutorials for each of those things. That way you're getting the most out of these new premium features. We also did a Q&A maybe 3 weeks ago about the new Etsy fees and changes. So if you have any questions about that and you missed that Q&A, be sure to go watch that, because we go over all of our opinions and why we believe that these new Etsy features aren't like a bad thing. And just if you didn't see that, just to kill any confusion there, these new plans have nothing to do with SEO or rank. It's all like cosmetic and additional tools that will, I mean, aside from you getting $5 in credits for promoted listings, there's nothing really that's going to boost you in terms of search. So this is more of like a cosmetic thing, and just a couple little tools that make running a business easier. So we've got a couple more minutes. I'm disappointed with the new features. I wasn't as wowed as I thought that I would be, but I think that once I create a tutorial for you guys on how you can really optimize some of those different new banner features that we have in the carousel, I would pay $20, because I know that the price is going to go up. It starts at 10 and it's going to go up to 20. I think that it's worth it simply because I feel like there's a lot of really great things that we're going to be able to do with the new banners alone. The banner is literally the biggest piece of real estate that you have in your shop. There's so much that you can do with a banner. And the fact that now we have the option to basically create like multiple banners that people can click through, it's pretty cool. I will say that when I recorded that tutorial today, though, I wasn't able to save any of the changes that I tried to make. Because I think it's because Etsy's still a little bit buggy with these new changes. It wouldn't let me save anything. I did address that during the video that I recorded. So when that's uploaded, just don't expect it to be like some big, like spectacular tutorial. It's more of just a tour of exactly what you're getting when you get those new features. That way, if you're afraid to actually click the button and take the plunge, you know exactly what to expect. So if you're, I wasn't wowed by the new features, but I think that it's worth it just to be able to have more branding opportunities. Any way that you can brand your shop, that's an impression that you're leaving with buyers and potential shoppers. And the stronger the brand, the more potential there is that you're going to stick in their mind. So I think that it's worth it personally. For me, I really like some of the new features that are included with your banner and being able to do the sliders. But that it's not something that you have to have. Let's see. My son just woke up from his nap, so he's watching with me. Hello, son. All right. And we have about 1 minute. I also wanted to let you know that here is our box of items. We also have one giant box that someone sent me. But if you've sent us something for fan mail unboxing, it is in here. And we will be recording right after we return from vacation on Monday. So we will be unboxing these. We also have one more giant one that was sent to us And if you're sending us anything else, or if there's something in our PO box right now that we haven't gotten, that will be in the next video. But these are perpetual. They're not going to end. We're always going to do unboxings because we want to keep holding giveaways for you guys where we give all these goodies away. Not to mention, we're also, when we get back from vacation, we're going to make a trip to IKEA so we can actually get our shelves, because I think that eventually we're going to have enough products to actually put on some shelves. So, all right, guys, it is 6 o'clock on the dot. Normally we do these at noon, so this is super exciting. But today we're going to be talking about the 3 things that I sure wish I'd known when I started my Etsy shop. And for those of you seasoned sellers who are just coming to hang out, this is probably nothing new to you. But at the end, as always, I'll answer any questions. I have a little while to hang out afterwards if you have any questions unrelated to this. But if you're a new seller, if you are new to Etsy, if you still feel really, really confused about Etsy, or if you're not making any sales and you just have no idea why, this will be a really, really beneficial Q&A to you. 11 p.m. here. Yeah, it's 6 here in Ohio. So let's dive right in to these 3 things that I wish I'd known. And the very first thing, and probably the most important thing, believe it or not, is number 1, presentation is more important than the quality of the product, though quality should also be very good. Like, that doesn't mean send customers crappy products. But what I mean by that is you could have the absolute best product in the whole wide world. It could be this beautiful golden, solid gold, beautiful pendant. But if your presentation is just crap, if you're taking low resolution photos, you're not doing any type of editing. Hello, I have an iPicky training series right on my channel that teaches you how to do it all for free. If you are just kind of making a good enough Etsy banner and throwing some text on it, and you don't have like a logo, and you didn't have a graphic designer design it, you just threw some text with your shop name, then you probably want to consider maybe trying to go in before the holidays and improve those little things, because that presentation is what is ultimately going to position you as someone who knows their stuff. Shoppers are looking for the expert of a particular category. They want to put their faith and trust in a seller who they believe in, who they can look at and say, wow, this person is a professional in both their craft and in their packaging and in their customer service. And that all is spoken through your branding and your photos and your presentation. So there are tons of resources for photos, for banners, for if you don't know anything about Photoshop, or if you don't want to buy it, I teach how to do all of that for free right on my channel. So be sure to make, just tweak your presentation and look at what your competitors are doing. If you were to search the keywords for your particular product and find yours on that search page, how would it size up to everything else on that search page? If you have a subpar photo, especially your thumbnail, next to all of these fantastic products, you aren't going to be that ultimate choice, the obvious choice. You need to be the obvious choice on that page. So that is why presentation is so important. If there's only one thing that you get from today's live session, let it be, number 1, presentation is more important before the purchase than the quality of the product. And then, of course, you can also ensure repeat buys and raving customers by making sure that you also have a quality product. So, yay, I made it. Oh, man, it is very, very late here. Okay. Lots of you are past your bedtime. So thank you for hanging out with us on this lovely Thursday night. Number 2, and this is one that took me so long to realize, and I know that this is going to be a lot of you. You can, absolutely can. Your business coach told you that you can say no to customers. And this means like custom orders. This means, I know that you made these for Christmas 2 years ago, but can you by chance make me one? If you don't have the time or the ability or the desire to create custom orders and custom products, or go out of your way to do something weird. Like a customer messages you and says, I know you only have 3 of these, but could you make me 60 of these for a wedding? And you know that would just destroy your whole month. You can say no. Say no. I don't accept custom orders right now. I could be making a whole lot of money making custom orders right now, but I don't want to. It's not something that I want to do. It's not something that I have time to do. It's not something that is going to make or break my shop. And I know that it's going to ultimately stall my progress for the holidays, especially when I have a whole lot that I need to do. This could be with anything. This could be with deadlines. Someone says, oh, can you get this to me by 6 p.m. on Saturday? And you know that it's going to take you, all day Friday to customize it. And then you got to get it in the mail, and then you got to pay for the next day's shipping. And then there's the potential that it still won't arrive. You do have the ability to say no. In fact, I've found that most customers really don't get that upset. Not to mention, if they haven't made the purchase yet, it's not like they can leave you a bad review. So if you don't feel that you can do it, if you don't feel that you can do your best quality work, or if you just know that it's going to completely damage your mental state, you do not have to take every single request. Another thing that I also have noticed is that a lot of customers will ask you to make something. Like they'll say, oh, if you made a bunch of these, they'd sell. Or, I know that all of you who crochet, do you ever have like family members who share crochet products on your wall? Like, let me know in the comments if like on Facebook, like all your friends and family, every time they see a crochet pattern, they share it to your wall and they say, you should make this, you should make that. Or if you make jewelry, they say, you should make this one. I saw this on Pinterest, you should make it. And then you go and make it and no one buys it, or that particular item doesn't fit your brand, or that item you won't be able to charge for the time that you put into it, or that you just don't want to do that because it looks freaking hard. Like, does anybody have that happen to them? Yeah. I even have some sending them to me in the mail. Yes, all the time. I just said no this week to someone. It was hard, but it's a product I don't want to carry anymore. Yes. Yeah, it happens all the time. I get you should make quiet books, and I know each one would take me months. Yeah, and that's the thing. My biggest problem was last fall, I had a ton of customers tell me that they wanted me to make keys. They wanted me to make NFL keys, and of course I can't do that. So I said, well, what if I just made football players, and you guys could you could choose your own stone for them. You could do your kid's birthstone. Maybe your kid plays football and you want to put their birthstone, or if you wanted to put like your team color in it, you could do that. I made these football player keys after like 10 people asked for them. I have sold 2 of them to date, and they're still sitting in my shop a year later. And now I have to re-promote them this fall. And if they don't sell this time, they're gone, because it's not what my target market typically buys. My target market is into dragons and fairies, but I got a couple suggestions. I thought, well, maybe I'll think outside the box a little bit. They want it, so I'll do it. And nothing is sold. So yeah, you absolutely have the ability to say no. I have people ask me to swap out from my native style. Hello, this is what I make. Yeah. Hi, Barbara. Mark is upstairs right now. He's very tired all the time. And it's usually not within my branding. That's annoying. Like, I make skeleton keys and people ask me to make bracelets and earrings. And can you make keychains? And can you make this? And can you make that? No, I make skeleton keys. Go ask a keychain shop to make you a keychain, Usually when a customer asks me that, what I do as an alpha, I try to recommend another alpha who makes similar products. So if you know of an alpha who makes a product, like maybe you don't make keychains and someone asked you to, find an alpha who does it and link them, and maybe just say, hey, I don't particularly make these, but I have some great suggestions of some sellers I know who will take great care of you. And then you're helping each other out. Barbara, I had someone ask me for a specific item. I replied, I'd love to, but I'm unable to find the tool needed. Their response, you should accommodate the customer. That's really bad customer service. Yeah, there's some, that's one of those customers who, no matter what you did, they would have been unhappy. There are those customers who are just like, did you ever watch like Bridezillas? There are customers on Etsy who are just like that. No matter what you do, they won't be happy. Earlier today, I had a friend tell me that I should make crustacean themed product line. Crustaceans? It's a little bit weird. Last year, the NFL lost a lot too, so they may have played into it, possibly. Can you recommend anyone that creates professional customized Etsy banners? Melinda, offhand, I don't personally know anybody, but I do have a video on my channel that teaches you how to create them yourself. Super duper easy and free. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check it out. Otherwise, there are tons of sellers on Etsy who specialize in creating just Etsy banners. So if you look up Etsy banner or Etsy shop banner on Etsy, you can usually find some pretty great graphic designers who will do it for you for pretty cheap. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and move on to number 3, and then we'll go ahead and answer some questions. So, this is probably the biggest one and the most difficult, especially for me, because when it comes to my products, I take a lot of pride in them. And I know that you guys do too. This is like your passion. It's not like you're working for someone else. This is your business. And every single little bit of criticism really hurts. Like you can feel it. You can feel it in your chest. You take it personally because that's your baby. It's almost like having someone walk up and tell you your kid is ugly. You know, it hurts. It hurts you right in the heart. So the next thing, or the last thing, I guess I should say, is that when there is a mistake, maybe a product arrives damaged, maybe it got wet in the mail, maybe it broke right when it arrived, maybe it was broken when it arrived, maybe you sent them just the wrong color or the wrong product. Own your mistakes, even if they aren't your mistakes. And what I mean by that is nobody can control mailing errors. You can't control what the postal carrier does to the package. We've all seen those YouTube videos where the mail carrier will take the box and just like kick it onto the porch and it goes flying. Nobody can control that. We can't do anything about that. But when you pass blame off on external sources, what you're telling the customer is that you don't have any control over the situation, the problem, or the solution. So basically, when you pass that blame off and say, oh, that darn mail carrier, oh, that wasn't my fault, it was this, oh, or even worse, some sellers will even pass blame off on the customer. Well, you just used it wrong. Yes, I get it. Like, it's really hard, especially when the customer obviously has done something wrong. Hopefully I'm not lagging too bad. I noticed that I'm kind of shaking in and out. But what I highly recommend is using a phrase something like this. Though I can't control mailing damages, I do take full accountability in the event that they happen. And because of this, I would be more than happy to fix your order, replace your order, send you a refund, yada, yada. So it's always best to frame it in a way where you're still letting them know, though I can't control what happened, I do take full accountability for it. Because when customers message you really stressed out, they aren't always looking for a solution right then. Sometimes they just want you to sympathize with them for a minute and they just want to know everything's okay. Customers don't want to leave you bad reviews. They don't want to be unhappy. They just want what they bought and they want it to be in the condition that they thought it was going to arrive in. So if there's any way that you can remedy that situation, it would be to give them the empathy that they want and then offer the solutions that you can. And, it's even good to have these solutions already planned out in your mind. I like to sit and think of an entire list of all the bad things that could potentially happen to an order. And I like to write them down. Somebody stepped on it. There was a big footprint on it. The key arrived in a million pieces. The key didn't arrive at all. I think of all the things that could go wrong. And then I think, how could I message this customer back? How could I fix the situation? And it's almost like having a combat guide. You have everything that you need in case the worst happens, because eventually with every shop, something like this happens, all the time. I see Etsy sellers who talk about how the tracking shows that the item arrived, but then the customer says that it was never in their mailbox because the mail carrier put it in the wrong box. It happens all the time, or mail gets stolen out of a box. So usually the best thing to do is first make that customer know that they're being heard, and then offer them whatever solutions that you possibly can. And make sure that if you haven't already created a good action plan for like worst case scenarios, sit down over the weekend, get a piece of notebook paper, ask your friends, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to one of your packages? Or maybe ask in the Handmade Alpha community, like, what is the very worst thing that's ever happened to one of your orders? And then just start thinking about how you would personally handle that situation, or ask the alphas how they handle those situations. And of course, if you have any of those situations that you'd like to share in the next few minutes, feel free to post those below. But those were the 3 things. I know that was only 15 minutes worth of content, but I'm here to hang out with you guys and answer your questions if you have any. Let's see. Though I can't control the fact that you do not know how to use the Cricut and how to get your printable stickers to cut correctly, I will agree to refund you. Yeah. See, sometimes, usually what you have to do is bite your lip. Like you said, just bite your lip and really swallow your pride. And that really sucks. However, as I always say, the dollar amount attached to the review that they leave is higher than the price of the product that you might potentially have to replace or fix or refund. That review is everything, and you have to have those fantastic reviews in order to uphold a fantastic reputation like I have with my business. My reviews are literally everything to me, and I talk to my customers exactly how I would want to be spoken to if I believed 100% of what they were saying. I once had a customer message me about a key that arrived. She said it arrived all like tarnished, but she had it for several weeks, waited weeks to contact me about it. And then when I looked at the key, I could absolutely tell that it had water damage, even though all of my care instructions say not to put it in water. But I was very apologetic, and, she was still within her return window, and I just sent her a new key. It sucks because I know for a fact that key got wet, and I know that she didn't open it like that. I mean, who just leaves their mail sitting around for a week? I know that it had been wet, but once again, I don't know. I know, but I don't know because I wasn't there. I don't have evidence. Maybe I'm wrong. So you have to give your customer the benefit of the doubt. We are a new shop. How do you encourage reviews? Heather, I have a video called the 4 messages to send your Etsy customers. These are my SSAR swipe files. Be sure to check that out because I talk about a really non-spammy way to ask your customers for reviews, and our alphas can vouch for those. Alphas, down in the comments, let Heather know about how fantastic those are. I'm sorry, but who are the alphas? We are the alphas. The Handmade Alphas is our channel, is our group, is our Facebook community, and is our VIP club. So if you want to get in on the resources, if you're an Etsy seller, feel free to find those all down below. Let's see. I got an awesome 2 stars. Yeah, that stinks. Let's see. Starla, stop popping up in my feed. Oh no, I'm so sorry that I'm popping up in your feed. I'm stupid and ugly. I'm glad you guys can't see some of the comments that pop up, like our troll comments, because they're pretty hilarious. I should just start showing them. Let's see. How do you deal with pure evil customers? Evil. You know what? Here's the thing. If you haven't actually made the sale yet, they're not your customer yet. So if you've got that person who's messaging you and they are just driving you freaking crazy, tell them that you don't think that you're going to be a good fit for them. You're allowed to fire your customers. You don't have to sell to everybody. And you can refund an order if that customer is literally just putting you through absolute hell, if they're being rude to you, if they're being mean to you. You do not have to serve that customer. And yeah, that really stinks. It stinks because you're losing a sale. But we are artisans. Etsy is a place of equal opportunity for all artisans, and nobody deserves to be talked to, cruddy. So I don't know what situation you're going through, but don't feel bad about firing a customer who isn't a right fit for you. You are not obligated to serve everybody. Let's see. I had pure evil customers too. I actually forgot that I had on my witch necklace I bought from you, and I jumped in the shower only to notice after I already started the water. That's okay. If you ever do damage one of your keys by me, I can Dremel off the layer of tarnish. It takes me a few days to do that. Let's see here. I had someone pay $100 for overnight UPS shipping, and guess what? The package did not arrive on time. I refunded the shipping to the customer, ouch, and got in touch with UPS. UPS refunded me. Yeah, and you know what? I hear about that all the time. Usually what I do, if I offer like a overnight shipping, always tell the customer that there is a potential that it won't arrive, because things happen, even if you pay for overnight, it's not always going to arrive overnight. So you always should throw out that disclaimer. Let's see. Leaders of the packs. Yes. I had a customer give me the wrong address, but I sent them the product again to the correct address. They gave me a 5-star review because of it, and the original order returned about a month later. Jennifer, I've had the exact same thing happen too. And they really, really love it when they know that you're going to take good care of them, especially if you let them know, like, hey, don't worry. I know that this is scary. If the order arrives back to me, no big deal, but either way, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to send you another one. You have nothing to worry about, blah, blah, blah. I do that all the time. And there are some products, like if you sell $1,000 items, obviously you probably can't just send them another one. But if you have the ability to do that, usually it's worth doing it, because that particular customer's LTV, long-term value, could be ridiculously high. That customer could spend several $1,000s later in your shop, So I always think about the long-term value of a customer. Let's see. Alaskan military doesn't like me because I'm a piece of shite. Go away. Go away. Let's see. If an order is refunded and canceled, can they still leave a review? It depends. I believe that, well, it's not if they haven't received it. If they've received the order, yeah, they can still leave a review. But if they place the order and then you refund it and cancel it, no, they can't. So, feel free, if somebody is being absolutely like just an abusive customer, like Alaska military is, feel free to just cancel the order. And, you don't even, I would give them an explanation, but you don't have to go that in depth. Just say, I worry that I'm not a good fit for you. So I've decided to go ahead and refund your order. Now, this should be a really rare case. Like, don't do this just with every customer who might sound like they're getting an attitude, because some people just aren't good typing. You know what I mean? Some people just aren't the best at relaying a message on, through Etsy. I have customers who come off really rude, but then they leave me fantastic reviews. So just make sure that it's actually because they're being mean and not just because they type really shorthand, because there are some people who just, they just don't understand that there is a voice behind the screen. Let's see. I'm super new. Which video should I start with? I don't have much support. Basically, I was told as long as my craft doesn't interfere with my housework, and I'll support you if you get big. Ooh, Amber, that really stinks. But you know what, Amber? I think that a lot of us have been there. My husband's always been really supportive, but he didn't think that my business was going to get as big as it did. He certainly didn't think that it was going to support us someday. So my suggestion in terms of where you should start, learn as much as you can. Absolutely do not stop learning. As many resources as you can eat in. Make sure that you're reading constantly. The Handmade Alpha Facebook community is linked down below. And in the files, I have all of the books that I recommend. So, get reading, go to the library, order them used on Amazon, super duper cheap, and, start taking notes. In terms of my videos, the one that I recommend the most starting with is an older video called Note Taking for Business Owners. That is the video where I kind of discuss how I take notes for business. And that's a good starting point. But after that, honestly, best thing to do is just jump in. I've got some great videos. I highly recommend checking out Renee Christine. She was my business coach when I was first starting out. Now she's just my best friend in the world. Be sure to check out some of her videos because she is also fantastic. Let's see. If an order, oh, I already read that. Don't feed the strays. Yeah, the stray cats. Let's see. Where did we go? I lost it. Mark normally scrolls through my comments for me. Oh, I have no problem firing a customer. Did that after a customer told me my product was crap and what was sold in the big box in American is better. Bye-bye. Yeah, that sounds like a customer that you need to fire. Let's see. Everyone's like, we love you, Starla. Trust me, you guys, the comments in the replay are way worse. Like anytime there's a replay, I have to go through and delete all the comments because there's so many trolls. I'm not even fazed by the trolls anymore. It's just ridiculous. Starla needs to write a book. You know what? I just slapped my straw. I thought about writing a book. I was actually thinking about doing like an autobiography style book. Not necessarily about I don't think I want to make it like a step-by-step how to be successful book because obviously, I mean, we've got the Handmade Alpha Academy for that. It's basically a video book. But I would want to write a book kind of about more of like an inspirational story. I would like to talk more about my background and, some of the challenges that we went through, because I think that a lot of sellers think that they are a really rare case when it comes to like the challenges that they have to overcome in order to be successful. Maybe you've got kids, maybe you live, in like really cruddy, like urban developments. And I've been there. I've been through all of that. I've gone through, we drove a Toyota Tercel that had the doors welded shut. The windows didn't roll down. The car didn't have brakes. And we drove that thing around. We've been through everything. We didn't have food. We've been on all kinds of government, assistance. And now we're to a point where, our business is literally our livelihood. So no matter where you are, I always say, don't let your circumstances be your cage. So don't let any circumstances or what people tell you be a cage to you. And I think that if I was going to write a book, it would be something, more inspirational and talking about overcoming some of those challenges, because I've been through, a lot of physical abuse, not with this husband, obviously, but somebody I was with before him, and a lot of emotional abuse, from that part of my life. And I just feel like I hear so many stories that are very similar to some of the things I've gone through. So if I write a book, that's probably what it will be about. Let's see. That's why I took the custom order I did. My instincts ended up being right. She's being put on my do not sell list. You can absolutely have a do not sell list. Let's see. I love that video. What was the name of the first book you mentioned on psychology? That would be Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely. Dan Ariely, sorry, my nose itches. Every time we stream, my nose gets itchy. Dan Ariely is such an amazing guy. I follow him on Facebook because he also posts really, really interesting articles. One of the first things that you'll notice about him, though, if you decide to go follow him on Facebook, to check out some of his psychology posts and articles, half of his face was actually burned off in a fire when he was very young. So he only has half of a beard. And, you can definitely tell that he was very severely burned. But I think that it just makes it's so much more inspiring because he's done so much. He's found so many, he's made so many groundbreaking discoveries in the world of psychology. It's just amazing, some of the studies that he's done at MIT. I highly recommend anything by Dan Ariely. And I highly recommend Predictably Irrational. And I'll be sure, what's the name of this book again? The Honest Truth About Dishonesty. I'll be sure to give you guys an update about, this book once I finish it, but I'm sure it'll be fantastic. He's a great author. Let's see. Amber, we support you even if it doesn't get big, even though we all know it will. Yeah. And the thing is, it takes a long time to get big, guys. Like it took me 5 years to get my business to the point of sustainability. But those sellers like us who just don't give up, like we are not willing to give up at all. We are going to fight this until the end. We're the ones who always end up on top. So just don't give up, even when things are bad. Always focus on how can I fix this rather than, once again, blaming external circumstances, saying, why won't Etsy send me traffic? Why won't customers buy? Think about what can I do to make customers buy? Or what am I doing wrong that's leading customers to not buy or not find me? And then work to fix those things. It's all about diagnosing problems that are within ourselves and our shops and our mindsets and our marketing and fixing those things. Let's see. I love Renee Christine's videos. Yes. And I won't say a whole lot, but watch Renee Christine's channel next month. Just, I can't say anything much. I can't say any more. I've been sworn to secrecy. Let's see. I'm glad they don't bother you anymore. I love learning from you, Mark and Renee. You're a major inspiration. Yeah. You know what? Starting out on Etsy, for anybody who decides it, or Etsy, YouTube, for anybody who decides to start a YouTube channel, my biggest advice is to expect that at least 2 or 3 comments on your video are going to be bad. Delete them, block them, don't take them personally. That's all we do, because some of them are literally just outrageous. And Renee Christine goes through the exact same thing. One of the very first comments that I ever personally, received about me was on one of Renee Christine's videos, where someone said, "Wow, Starla, you're really pretty, but you'd be prettier if you didn't have all that metal in your face." Like, wow, person who commented, you'd be really pretty if you weren't so judgmental. Your attitude would be really pretty if you weren't so judgmental of me. I would read that book. Alpha Uncaged. Yeah, everyone's like, write a book, Starla. Resources for learning photography. So photography is one of those really difficult things, because photography is going to completely depend on your camera. It's going to depend on whether you're talking about like actual shooting photos or editing. In terms of resources, there are photography courses that you can buy. You could get on a site like Udemy, Udemy. They sell like mini courses. The thing about Udemy is there aren't a lot of like credentials attached to the courses. And I've taken tons of courses on Udemy, and most aren't anything that I couldn't find on Google. But if you don't want to have to do all the searching for yourself, definitely check out Udemy. YouTube is a great source. I've got my iPicky training series. If you need help with photo editing, there are tons of trainings that you can get for Photoshop if it's more on the editing aspect. But there's tons of useful resources out there. If you want a full course just on photography, though, check out Udemy and make sure that you get a course that is catered to the type of camera that you choose to use. I took photography in high school. I was in a high school photography class, and most of what I've learned about photography was done through my own research rather than anything that I've learned in school. So, let's see. Oh, Joe, I missed your question. Not sure if I did something wrong or you skipped over me twice exactly at my question. Joe, the questions move so fast. Feel free to just paste it in for me. The questions literally move a mile a minute. So just feel free to throw those in for me if I missed it. Just paste it down below and I will try to find it. Let me see if I can find it for you. Okay, I found it, Joe. Customer, it is a little unsettling to find out by this email after I purchased it. You have to make it. There will be a delay as a result. Etsy won't let me put 0 on hand. I make custom. What do I do? Joe, my suggestion would be to put it right in your listing photos. Make a photo with a graphic, because customers don't read descriptions. Make that photo that talks about your turnover time. Actually put text on the photo and make it very clear. Also, make sure that your actual processing times for your orders are as far as they can be. Make sure that you actually extend those out. When it comes to important information, if you feel like you're putting it in too many places, you're not putting it in enough places. When it comes to custom items that take a long time, you just have to make sure that you're putting it literally every single area that you can put it, especially if your whole shop is custom. So I hope that answers your question, but definitely be sure to actually put it in your photo slideshow on Etsy, because most customers don't read the description, which really stinks. But let's see. The third would be the upside of irrationality. Oh yeah, I've seen that too. I was told I was too stupid to run a business by somebody or someone who only did one vendor show, who claimed that made them an expert. 5 years later, I'm still in business. Them fired. Yeah. You know what? There's going to be haters no matter what you do. Doesn't matter. Mark and I sit here pretty much every day with the alphas. This is like our free unpaid job that we do, creating resources and trainings and making sure that we're always, on YouTube, doing our Q&As and hanging out with you guys. And it's like our unpaid job, and we still get hate for it. People judge us on how we do it. They judge us on how we talk. They judge us on how we look, and we put hours into helping you guys. So if we didn't love it, we wouldn't be here. We absolutely love it, and we love hanging out with you guys and helping you. So don't take things personally. If you love it, you'll find a way. Even if there are haters out there, just ignore them. Let's see. Let's see. Joe, what is your time lead? I don't stock either. Everything is made on demand, and I haven't had a problem. Yeah, just make sure that you're putting it everywhere that you can, like I said. Wow, everybody's helping Joe. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. All right, let me find where we're at. Mark usually does all the scrolling for me. I'm really missing him. Let's see. Starla. Susan said, Starla, I admire and respect you so much. Because of you, I finally swallowed my fear and opened my Etsy shop last week. Awesome, Susan. That is awesome. Cool. Let's see. So putting made to order on the photos would be all right, as long as it's not directly on the product. Yeah, you don't have to put it on the first photo. I wouldn't put made to order on the first thumbnail photo. I would put it after that. Or you could even put it somewhere in your title. I just wouldn't put it at the front of your title, because obviously you want that SEO optimization. But if you were to throw in, made to order on the title, you could throw it in there too. Just don't expect it to help your SEO at all. Let's see. The most annoying thing is when they don't leave me a color they want for customs. I added a disclaimer that I'll be forced to choose if they don't tell me. Yeah, April, that happens to me all the time, because we only have 2 variations. And sometimes, because my customers can choose what chain they want and what crystal they want. But some of my keys also allow for 2 crystals. So they have to be able to message me with what the second crystal is. And I have that in the descriptions. I put it in my photos, and they still miss it. So I usually message customers twice. And if they don't tell me, I either cancel their order or I, pick for them. Let's see. You mentioned that customers don't read descriptions. So should our product descriptions be elaborate or very short? I've seen recommendations in both ways. So Melinda, here's what I recommend. Here's the thing. The customers who are reading are ready to buy. And if they're reading, they want to make sure that they know everything. They're trying to get all the details about that product. They are trying to get in the zone. So if they're reading, they're really serious about buying. I recommend making sure that you're catering to both audiences. So what I like to do is write an elaborate product description, you add some flair, make it pop, these whisper thin silver earrings are adorned with the finest jewels, and, make it pretty. But then under that, create a short and simple list. Do like a bullet point, just very, materials, this, size, this, anything else that they might need to do, length, width, height. Make sure that you actually have just a little bulleted list of just the facts. That way, if they don't want to read and skim through that whole description to find out the details, it's located in a nice little list for them. That way your skimmers can, grab the information that they need so they can actually check out quickly, So I would just try to make sure that you're catering to both. Starla, you're doing a great job scrolling on your own. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm already guiding my business with your calendar. So anxious to do the giveaway to grow my email list. Yes. And if you guys didn't get my free marketing calendars, all of the alphas are raving about these. Make sure that you sign up for the Handmade Alpha VIP list. That will be linked down below. I think Monday is when I will be resending those out to anybody who hasn't received them yet. I've sent them out both. I sent them out, let's see. I sent them out earlier this week, and the weekend. I sent them out last weekend, and I also sent another copy today in your reminders about the Q&A. So if you didn't get these really great marketing calendars, they show you basically all the major holidays that you should be marketing, ideal timeframes to begin marketing, when to start working on product lines, lesser known holidays that you could be promoting for, things like that. Little tips that I personally recommend. It's like having me right in your office with you, giving you advice. So if you didn't get those, sign up for the Handmade Alpha VIPs. I'll make sure to send those out again, probably Monday, for anybody who hasn't gotten them yet. Let's see. Make sure your description is solid, if nothing for the SEO. Yeah, and that SEO is going to help your Google ranking quite a bit. I have a greeting card that has a pendant keepsake as part of the card. The chain is not included, and I got that everywhere. Photos, description, title, etc. Yeah, I would put that everywhere. Use words that sell for your descriptions. Absolutely. Words That Sell is another great book. It's not a book that you read. It is a book that think of it almost like a reference guide. So if you're sitting at your desk and you're writing product descriptions, type, and you think, wow, I need a really poppy word for, this tumbler cup I'm selling. So you can go through Words That Sell and find different words and phrases that are going to help you create a more colorful description. Highly recommend it. It's a great book. There's also another one called Phrases That Sell. I would start with Words That Sell, though. I feel like it's a more solid resource, but they're both good if you want them both, and they're very cheap. Let's see. Yes, thank you so much for the calendar, Starla. So helpful. And it inspired me to start my fall collections already. Yeah, and if you guys haven't started creating fall collections, make sure that you're doing that, because you should pretty much already be working on those fall collections, because ultimately you want to get those launched by September at the latest. So, and you could potentially start them late August too, if you want to release them late August, but you want to make sure that you have plenty of time to market those, and September is going to be optimal time. Let's see. I do a super shortened version of the description with a few very important keywords at the very top of the description area for lazy readers and for Google. Then I do a more descriptive one down below that. That's a good idea, Jamie. Let's see. The 10 product line is really throwing me. Could you give a quick explanation of a product line for baskets? Yes. So basically a 10-piece product line. And what she's referring to is Renee Christine's free handmade training at freehandmadetraining.com. It is free. It's not a gimmick. It's absolutely free. And it is probably one of the most valuable resources that you could have if you really want to take your business and turn it into, like, not just a little shop, but a big business that people actually take seriously. Product lines are amazing. But basically for a 10-piece product line, don't think so hard about it. If you're doing baskets, you could do 10 baskets, or you could do maybe 5 baskets, and we'll say maybe you make cloth inserts that go in the baskets. You could do 5 baskets and 5 inserts that they could mix and match. Basically, what you want are 10 listings total at a minimum. You could have more than that. In fact, when I do a collection, I don't do a 10-piece product line. I usually do 20 to 25 pieces, simply because I'm a higher volume seller, and usually all but about 3 or 4 of those pieces sell out on the first day. So I can usually get away with creating more than a 10-piece product line. But 10 pieces don't have to be all one particular product. You just want them to be cohesive. So maybe you create women's clothing and you want to create a holiday collection for women's clothing. So you create maybe a reindeer shirt and maybe a reindeer bracelet, and you do a Christmas tree pair of leggings, and maybe, you know, a handbag with, I don't know, Santa Claus on it. You know, they're just products that are cohesive and go together. So if you have any specific questions about that, feel free to ask though, and I can go more in depth about 10-piece product lines. But my biggest advice is to not think too hard about it. When it comes to the neutrals and things, where she talks about having neutral colors, that doesn't mean that it really has to be color specific. For example, a neutral for me might be just a smaller key with maybe like a fairy on it, because most of my keys are big and extravagant, huge pieces of jewelry. The neutral might be just a little petite fairy key. It doesn't necessarily have to be a color thing. Let's see. I'm slow at building my library. I need an Amazon gift card. We finally signed up for Amazon Prime. That's why hubby is upstairs reading his Geeky Space books. If my first base collection is launched at the end of summer, should I skip a fall collection and go straight into winter Christmas? So ideally you want to have at least 2 months to market a product line at like the minimum. If you're doing a late summer collection, you know, it completely depends. It depends on when that collection is launching. I wouldn't if I were you, because you're not going to be able to, you know, get the most juice out of that collection. You got to be able to squeeze all the juice out of the orange. And if you immediately jump and start marketing another collection, you're not going to be able to make the most sales out of the previous collection. However, if there was ever a time to do a lot of collection close together, it would be the holidays, because you want to make sure that you have a lot of stock. So just don't get into like creation fever where you want to create a lot, so you decide to create everything and just launch a million collections. I know that when we get really excited about creating a bunch of new stuff, we tend to just create way too much, and then we have way too much sitting around. But, you know, optimally 2 months is, you know, at the minimum for marketing. I would say make sure that you have at least 2 months to market the summer collection that you're doing before you start working on another one. So maybe just go ahead and start thinking about winter rather than thinking about fall, and then launch your winter collection during the fall, if that makes sense, because you would want to launch a fall collection like, you know, right now. So I normally pick a theme, design a few things, make them, and decide from there. Yeah, I do that too. Or I will create a collection and then decide the theme. When I look at it all laid out, I'll say, what does this look like? And then I'll think of a name for my collection. Let's see. Oh my God. You guys, the comments are just alive today. You guys know that I don't even put any like SEO in my live videos anymore. I don't put in my tags until after my videos are over. That way trolls can't find me, and they find me anyway. Just went to my emails and received the calendar. Wow, it's amazing, and must have taken ages. Thank you so much. Now to convince my printer to work. Yeah, no kidding, Lexi. But those calendars, like, my favorite thing to do with them is to put them inside those plastic sheet protectors in a binder. And then if you don't want to like write on them, or that way you don't have to scribble things out if you change ideas, put them inside plastic sheet protectors and then write on those plastic sheet protectors with a dry erase marker. That's what I like to do when I don't want to have to print a bunch of something, or if I'm afraid that like if I draw on it with pen, I'll mess it up. I like to just do the sheet protector. It makes things a little bit easier. And then I can move things around on my calendar if I need to. You guys, yay, thanks for the example of the 10 product line. I listened to Renee, but it was still confusing. The not thinking so hard is my answer. I started over way too many times creating a product. Yeah, you know what? The 10-piece product line, it's a really great guideline, but if you think too hard about it with certain products, it can actually stall your success, because you start thinking way too hard about the formula as opposed to your target market and what they actually want. If I were to create a neutral colored product line and did like plain clear crystals and like I don't know, beige crystals, it wouldn't go over really well. So it doesn't need to be neutral colors and things like that. It just, it needs to be neutral to your market. So, don't encourage the trollers. Yeah. I know I do have dedicated weirdos. They pop on it's because Mark's not here. That's why. Oh, yeah, don't encourage me. Trust me, we're not. I'm trying to actually remove you. I tried to delete your last comment. There we go. Hide this user on my channel. Goodbye. Oh, man, you guys. Hi, Dan. All right, guys. Oh, man. All right, we've got about 10 more minutes. So if you have any last minute questions, feel free to shoot those my way. I know that this was kind of a short Q&A. We actually are waiting for Ashley Furniture to come. Even though it's almost 7 o'clock at night, they're supposed to come and fix our bed frame so we can actually maybe sleep in our bed tonight, but probably not. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Goodbye to all the haters. Oh, man, guys, I don't even know. I don't know what's up with people. I think that it's worse on Fridays because I think that, or maybe it's just worse at night. Every time we do a Q&A later in the day, we've only done it twice now, but it seems like the weird comments are way worse. It's always, I don't know, especially if Mark's not here. It's always really bad. But if you guys have any last minute questions while I'm sitting here drinking my tea, feel free to let me know. All you have to do is block the lamos. Click on the 3 little dots and block. Yeah, what I do is definitely a dedicated weirdo. Domestic Platypus, you are a wanted dedicated weirdo. You're our favorite. We talk about you all the time. Like, just, when we talk about people who watch the stream frequently, you always come up in discussion. So that's super duper exciting. Domestic Platypus, I did have a question for you. If you're here hanging out, we were thinking about getting a bath mat, not to use as a bath mat, but we were thinking about getting either a bath mat or a flag with our Alpha logo on it. You could, of course, charge me commission price for that, but would that be something that's possible within your shop? Please let me know, because that might be something I will be interested in placing an order for. I'm very new to the alphas and working on my Etsy shop. Is it bad not to have an actual collection? I'm currently posting some of the newest earrings I made. Kimberly, here's the thing about collections. Collections allow you to build suspense and momentum before the collection launches. So basically what you're doing is getting people ready to buy before the products are available. Then right when those products post for sale, those customers are going to eagerly run and buy them before they have a lot of opportunity to kind of like sit and talk themselves out of it. That's the biggest thing when it comes to shopping online, is we have a lot of fear and doubt and, anxiety about making that purchase. It's just people are skeptical, and we're all like that. We all weigh our options. But when you release that collection and you get those fans really, really hyped up about it, even if you don't have a lot of fans right now, what you basically do is put it in their head that this is something that they want, that they're waiting for, that they're following, that they are watching, progressively happen. They're seeing work in progress pictures, and, they're seeing your excitement radiating from the posts. They're going to get curious and check that collection out when it finally post to the public. So my suggestion would be to go ahead, go to freehandmadetraining.com sometime this weekend, do a little bit of homework, watch that training series that Renee Christine did. It is fantastic. You'll love it. And just kind of get an idea of why collections are important. And then from there, maybe next time you might want to go ahead and start, creating collections. You can still have products in your shop that weren't released in a collection. Just consider that your base product line. And that will make more sense once you actually watch the free handmade training. How to ask a customer to revise their review. Not counting on my last one. He's not even replying to me, but for future customers. I just actually talked to an alpha about this today. So what I recommend when you want to ask a customer to revise reviews, first of all, you have to ask yourself, was it something that you really did wrong, or is it just them being, goofy? In your case, it sounds like they were just being goofy and they used something wrong and then they left a bad review. What I usually like to do is offer to refund the order if I really want that review removed, I usually offer to refund the order, and then I let them know that, you know, whatever the circumstance was, I don't know a whole lot about what happened with your sale, but if I can take accountability, I do. I say, you know, this was my fault. I take full accountability. And if you would be willing to consider revising your review, I would be willing to send you a new product that I promise won't be defective in any way. I want to make this up to you. I want to send you a new product. And when that product arrives and you have a chance to, you know, enjoy it, inspect it, if you would be willing to revise your review, it would help me out a ton. I like to put in there that, you know, I take review or reports like this very seriously. I always tell my customers, I take things like this very seriously. And, you know, you letting me know that there was a problem with my product is great for my shop. It's great for my growth, because now I know that there's something that I need to fix. And I thank them. I always thank them, even if they are mad, you know, if they're angry about something, because, you know, I've had products arrive broken because mail carriers can be nightmarish. But I always just let them know that, you know, this is my livelihood. This is my passion. You know, I care so much about you and my products, and this is my world. I'll do anything that I can to make this right for you. Just let me know how would you like to resolve this, and I'll do everything in my power. And sometimes customers won't, revise their reviews. It's just one of those unfortunate things. But what you can do is make sure that you're using what you've learned from that order to revise your policies, revise how you ship products, revise maybe if you add an insert into your product that let customers know what to do in the event that something goes wrong, where to contact you so that you can fix it for them. That's going to prevent them from running and leaving a bad review before you've had a chance to fix it for them. I'm thinking of starting a jewelry line. I was thinking about starting with earrings. Do you think I should expand to bracelets, necklaces right away, or is just doing earrings okay? That's more of a personal preference. I always say stick to one thing, but jewelry technically is one thing. So that's personal preference. I really can't weigh in on what's best. You just have to make sure that you have a target market for it. So I do have a video called The One Thing Etsy Shops Do Wrong. If you want to check that out, it's from last summer, I believe, where I talk about making sure that you are focusing in on one thing that you're going to do, and you're going to do it well, rather than being a shop that just sells a little bit of everything. Like maybe I make bows and decals and custom mugs and greeting cards and necklaces and purses. You know, shops like that typically don't do very well. What you want to do is just create one really great thing and make sure that you build a reputation for it, which jewelry is one thing. So that would be fine. Let's see. I'm so late. That's okay, Claudia. We're actually almost done. I'm finishing reading through some of the comments. Let's see. Do pieces and collections have to match together in a set, or can they have a common theme? Yeah, they can just have a common theme. They don't need to match or go together. Domestic platypus, thank you. I'll be getting in touch after our vacation. Oh, you'll send me an email. That works too. I will reply on Monday when we're back from vacation, because we're leaving tomorrow. They had to deliver our love seat twice. First time they broke it while delivering, so we sent it back and had to wait for another. Yeah, Ashley Furniture has been a pain in the butt. How did you learn? How long did it take? How did you learn? How long did it take? How did I learn what RP entertainment? How did I learn to run an Etsy shop? I learned through trial and error, and it took me about 5 years, and I've decided to condense what took me 5 years to learn and create a YouTube channel out of it. That way you guys don't have to take as long, because 5 years was a long time to wait to actually build a business to sustainability. But always expect it to take a while, because success is not instant. And anyone who tries to sell you success and says that they have the magic button and that it will be instant is a big fat liar. They are a snake. Run. All right. Do you promote giveaways before you run them? Like you would a launch? I don't, Sharon, because people don't care. Honestly, with giveaways, people aren't going to like follow back to figure out how to enter it. What I do like to do is say, hey guys, I'm thinking about hosting a giveaway, but I need to know what you guys would like to win this month. So if you could go to my Etsy shop and let me know the name of a product that you would like to win this month, I will, take the most voted item and give one away. So you could do it that way if you make it like a poll. But if you like start advertising a giveaway, people aren't going to remember to check back to enter it. People, if there's a giveaway, people just want to enter it. They want to click right there and just enter it. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. There, not much hype can be established with a giveaway the way that it is with like an actual product that they're waiting to buy. Because with a giveaway, they don't even know if they're going to get that product or not. They just know that they're going to enter for it. One major thing that I'm having a hard time deciding is my new pricing to accommodate the new Etsy changes. I don't want to go too high. That, you know, the Etsy the Etsy changes aren't really going up that much. You could increase that by just a few cents and be able to accommodate those new Etsy changes and the increase in fees. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just make sure that you're looking at your competition and pricing, you know, aligning your pricing next to your biggest competitors. Let's see. I need to rewatch some of the mailing list videos. I have to get started on more marketing strategies. Let's see. Let's see. I would have thought it would be worse with Mark here. Mark's hate always comes after the video post for replays. That's when people like to hate on Mark, and they say all kinds of awful stuff, which hurts my feelings more than when people talk bad about me. When people talk bad about Mark, it really hurts my feelings. Hi, Brian. How do you follow up with a person that seemed very interested in a product, then ghost last minute? I'd reach out and get nothing back. Do I move on? I personally do. If somebody just decides that they're not going to message you back, it probably means that they shopped with somebody else, which sucks. It happens to all of us. But if they don't seem interested, you definitely don't want to bug them. So usually I'll send them one follow-up message if I'm really chasing that sale, if it was, you know, something I really wanted to do. But usually I just let it go. If they decide that they're going to stop messaging me, that's their loss. Let's see. Now it's written an announcement to link your YouTube on how to. Very true. A lot of plastic canvas and crochet project. I don't know how I'm going to make the prices change yet. Yeah, when it comes to changing prices, you can either do that gradually over time by increasing a little bit in small increments, or you can let your fans know that you have to increase your prices due to, you know, high demand, and you could get my original prices for 1 week only, or use this coupon to take advantage of my original prices this week, because after that I have to increase my prices. The main thing about increasing prices, as I say, just make sure that you're doing it like a celebration and not structuring it as a negative thing. Otherwise, it's going to sit negatively in their mind. If you make it like a celebration, they will celebrate with you and be excited with you. Let's see. Domestic platypus. I don't ask people directly to revise reviews. Instead, I mention their feedback, apologize for any actual issues, and work to resolve the problem. Usually they'll eventually revise or ask how to. That's awesome too. That's another great tactic too, is just providing great customer service. But, you know, as always, there's going to be customers who, no matter what you do, they're not willing to change the reviews. Every once in a while you get one and it really stinks, but you know, it's just one of those parts of business. Every shop gets a bad review eventually. So, Ginger 404, my shop has been around for a long time, and it just sit there almost empty. I've been working on it genuinely for the last 2 months, and I'm not seeing much activity at all. How long does it take? Well, you can't really ask how long does it take. That's not really how it works. You don't just put things in your shop and sit and wait. You know, you have to continuously be working on things like external marketing and your branding and your photos. Success on Etsy is a never-ending journey of self-education. So if you aren't seeing the sales you want, it means that you need to take personal accountability for why you aren't appealing to the people that you want to appeal to, you know, AKA your target market, and then dedicate that time into learning why. So my suggestions, of course, watch videos on my channel. Renee Christine's channel is fantastic too. Be sure to read, you know, some great psychology books. I highly recommend reading psychology books over marketing books. And I have a full list of all the books I recommend in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community, which is linked down below. You can find that list of books that I recommend in the file section. And I forgot to mention that those are also linked to my Amazon affiliate links. So when you purchase those books, we do get a very small commission if you buy from our affiliate library. However, what we do with that money is we turn it around and donate it to the Wolf Conservation Center of South Salem, New York. And you guys probably have heard me talk about it. We sponsor 3 wolves. In fact, that little pillow back there is a picture of one of the wolves that we sponsor, Zephyr. So if you're interested in learning more about the Wolf Conservation Center of South Salem, New York, you can look up the Wolf Conservation Center and check out how you could personally donate if that's something that you're interested in. But all of our, affiliate sales through our little Amazon affiliate library, that money all goes to the Wolf Conservation Center. So be sure to check that out if it's something that you're interested in. Let's see. If you make all the things, I've been successful by figuring out the interests of those purchasing and focusing on building up those items rather than restricting item types. Right, but Domestic Platypus, I find your shop to be like memer thematic. You have your common thing is your target market. So I feel like you have a very modern, young, target market who finds your product either, I would say, somewhat empowering for some of them or humorous. You really appeal to the modern, like Reddit memer. So I do think that you stick to one thing because I am your target market. We look at your products all the time. So I feel like you do have a theme. It's just you do it throughout a lot of different types of products. I'm selling a theme lifestyle, eclecticism. It's a bit challenging, but I love it. Thank you, Starla. Hope the rest of the alphas have an amazing weekend. All right, guys, I'm just kind of skimming through to make sure that we don't have any last minute questions before we hop off for the day. Those fees are also an expense, which is a good thing. Yeah, you can, think about all the Etsy fees as more tax write-offs, guys. And same with if you decide to upgrade to the Etsy Plus, which I'll have a video on that posting, I believe, this weekend. I'm going to try to get it done this weekend. But yeah, Etsy Plus is now available for most sellers. If it's not available to you yet, it will be available on the 16th. And if you want to wait to take the plunge, I will have a video of the entire process of me signing up for Etsy Plus. That way you can kind of see what you're getting into and what that package includes. Let's see. Marketing is definitely a challenge. Absolutely. Let's see. In the latest podcast, Anthony Wolf from Etsy Rank, did he mention a few ways to get a review change? Oh, he mentioned a few ways to get a review change. Yeah, and if you guys are a member of the Etsy Rank group, there's actually a group for Etsy Rank. I think it's just called Etsy Rank Group. Anthony also does Q&As every week for SEO and Etsy Rank specifically, which I find to be very useful. So be sure to join the Etsy Rank group on Facebook too, if you have any issues with SEO. Let's see. Who talked about words that sell? If that person would let me know the author, I would be grateful. I believe that the author is Bayan. I think its last name is Bayan. Words That Sell is by Rick Bayan. Rickbayan. Rick Bayan. All right. Oh, thanks. Was kind of getting offered that as advice to others who enjoy making more types of things, the audience versus the item type thing, all of the things, but with the theme. Right. So you can make if I always use the example Chihuahuas because I'm a Chihuahua owner and I know how obsessive Chihuahua owners are. You can make Chihuahuas your theme and make purses and, shirts and jewelry and, collars for Chihuahuas and all different products, but the theme is Chihuahua. So you could absolutely do that too. All right, guys, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for hanging out on this lovely Thursday night. Mark and I are going to be heading to Tennessee tomorrow morning, bright and early. We're going to Gatlinburg. It's my first time going there. He's been like 6 or 7 times. So I'm super duper excited. It's supposed to storm all weekend, so that's not going to be very much fun, but we're going to bring our umbrellas and we're going to have fun regardless. So if you follow me on Instagram, my Instagram Instagram name is Starla K, the letter K, More. Starla, letter K, More. Feel free to follow me, and I'll probably be posting some stories just throughout the weekend of our adventures. If that's something that you're interested in keeping up with, we'll try to post some updates and some selfies and some fun stuff. But anyway, guys, have an awesome weekend, and I will see you in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. And also be sure to watch my channel over the next few days for an update about the new Etsy Plus, because I just purchased that and I will be editing that video right when I log off here for the night. All right, guys, see you later. Bye.